Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time I don't have myself, I have instead Gote versus Krebz. Gote is the turbo player, so I'm going to be reviewing from his point of view. Krebz is going to be on warriors, however I don't know what Gote expects. But he probably expects warrior. So he loses rock, paper, scissors. So he starts with a set monster, which this is not a very common opening for a warrior deck. So at this point I would be thinking it's probably turbo instead. Yeah, just doing something like set Sangen. Dust Shoot seems good. You can maybe set the MST with it, but then you like have to send Breaker, which you might not want to. So I'm probably going for set Sangen, set Dust Shoot pass. Let's see if he decides to set the MST. He does. Okay, so flip right away. So we see a handful of monsters. So now we see that it was warriors, and it was just somehow a full monster hand. It's just got to be Breaker here, because everything else is just searchable by Rhoda. Kaiku is whatever. And you would imagine that the set monster now is the Dawn, probably, unless Krebz is maining Spy. Yeah, so I would expect this to be Dawn here, and search accordingly. It probably just has to be Serpent. What are the other options? The other options are Spy and Tsukiyomi. I definitely don't want Suk. Spy is good, but we don't currently have an answer to the level 2. I think it's got to be Serp, just because that plays best into Dawn. Okay, take 14. Let's see what he hits. Anything but Tribe is fine. Okay, hits Faith. Draw Thunder Dragon. So this is a lot of... This spot sucks. Because you... So let's go through like the options. If you set Serp, that might bait out the level 2. In fact, it almost definitely does. And then we take a Dawn hit, and again hope he doesn't hit Tribe. We have MST for any card he draws, although he could bluff Rhoda. And then you can go Tribe, which destroys Dawn plus level 2. What are the other options? The other options are you could Tribe now, but the problem with that, the problem is that he has Kaiku, and Kaiku just runs it over, and you are left with nothing. Yeah, so the best play is just set Serpent. The other one is set Night Assailant, but that just plays worse into level 2, so it just has to be Serp, which is what he does. This is unfortunate. He hits the knight, which takes back faith. Take 18. Unfortunately, yeah, that was a really unfortunate knock top deck because now he gets to put Kaiku on field and remove the darks while also preserving the level 2 in hand. We go draw a useless card. Play is just made for us here, just have to go tribe. Tribe, pitch Thunder Dragon. Damage is not that important, so just swing over Dawn and force him to use one of the Rotas to destroy Tribe. Yeah, I don't see a reason to set knock, really. Let me hide hand here so I don't see what he draws. He draws heavy. It's what do you need here? There's not that many good draws. Regeki Break. Yeah, that's not really gonna work. If he summons level 2. Do you just set like knock and break to disincentivize him from summoning? No. I just don't see a world where Krebs decides to hold level 2 in hand regardless of how many we set. So probably just set Regeki Break only. Yeah, just gonna have to let this one through and then Regeki Break on Blade Knight just to try and buy yourself some turns. But I guess there's also, you could just let everything go through here because like Spy is something you want to draw, and then at that point you would have wanted to use Regeki Break on Mystic Swordsman level 2, and there are 3 Spies in the deck. Whereas if you Regeki Break now on Blade and you draw Spy, you have to summon Spy attack. Spy gets ran over by the Rota. It's a tough spot with no real good answers. I guess we just allow. Just take the 16. He decides to just do this, which is fine. Like, the problem is that he still has Rota for Blade Knight, which is 2900 next turn, so you don't really have that much time. But one way to have bought more time is with top deck Spy and this being off the field. And it's a Spy. So that just has to attack. Definitely do not bluff knock because Krebs is always attacking anyway. And if you draw Regeki Break, Charity, you'll want knock in hand. There's Regeki Break. Just have to Regeki Break the Blade. Wonder if it's possible that to Regeki Break like the Tribe instead. Again, trying to like draw Spy. at Solemn anyway. Alright, so player's pretty obvious. It's just going to be Gote, Thunder Dragon, and Sakuretsu. There's Heavy Storm into Rhoda. It's unfortunate, but our hand plays through this pretty well. And Pot is really nice. Looks like no Dust Shoot, so just use Pot. If he Solemns, he loses right away. Draw Spy, Faith. So that's a lot of monsters now. What do we think is the best line here? I think it's just Zombira Swing. Is there any merits to anything else? Definitely don't want to do Flip plus Mirror Force because that just loses to Dust. BLS. BLS, something like BLS Banish. Is that stupid? BLS Banish set like Faith. We'll lose a Snatch, but Snatch is only one card. It's definitely an option, but I think Zombira attack just plays best. Okay. Is there a world where you don't set Mirror Force here? I don't think so. Duo, that's okay. Just hit anything but BLS. Oh, that's hitting BLS. That hurts a bit. I don't know if he expects Krebs to have Mind Control post side. Wait, he has Knock here. Okay, so him having Knock tells me that... Okay, so there was a previous match before this one where one of their players sided into Chaos Turbo. So he is playing around that a little bit by... I assume he only has one Knock here. Yeah, this is tough. Ideally, I just want to try and resolve Faith, but I think it's very unlikely that that will actually be able to happen. So I really just want to set Spy. And there's also a question of if you want to set Knock to maybe like Beta Dust Tornado. It does play into Zing, but I'm not that worried about Zing right now. Just because, like, if he has a big play, and he has a Dust Tornado face down, he'll probably use it on Mirror Force, but if you set Knock, he'll instead just end phase Dust the Knock, almost surely. So I do lean towards bluffing the Knock and just setting Spy, which is what he does. So he goes for Premature on level 2 to swing. And these are like the spots where I kind of wish we did set Faith. Because I don't want to Mirror Force this just because Zombira gets over this really easily and Mirror Force still protects Faith. Yeah, you have to allow this. He does not, which is interesting. I just don't really like the position next turn of like flipping Spy, getting completely destroyed by Torrential, and even if there is not Torrential, that field is pretty weak versus Warriors, because they just like put one Blade Knight up and that blocks everything. And also that Blade Knight could run over the Faith and you don't have protection. So yeah, I would just allow that level 2 to kill. Okay, so there is Mind Control, which is like one really good thing about using Mirror Force. But I think I don't know, I still kind of like my play. Interesting. There's a few ways to think about this play here. So there's the first decision of whether you want to attack with Spy or put it in defense mode. And I think there's a lot of merits to attacking with it, just because in main phase 2 you're going to set a monster, and Blade Knight is not going to want to allow Faith to get pot. So the Blade Knight will go after the set monster pretty much always, so the Spy is actually protected in that spot. And what you could do is actually set the Sangan here, so that when Blade Knight swings, it'll just be hitting into Sangan, which then finds Tsukiyomi. And then the other way of thinking is, well, he didn't summon anything last turn next to the Swordsman, right? So he doesn't have a Blade Knight right now. He does have 3 and 31 to top deck it, plus Rhoda, so 4, plus Pot Graceful. Not sure what these 2 in-hand cards are right now. Like, there could be some 1800 monster, because he wouldn't summon an 1800 monster in that situation last turn. But he definitely would have summoned Blade, which is what makes this turn a little tricky. Because if you know there's no Blade, you kind of just want to set Faith. Is there Knock? Is it possible to have Knock? Would Krebs have used... Krebs definitely could have gotten greedy and just been like, that's a Faith, I want to Mind, and I want to take my Duo or something, and held Knock there. I mean, it's tough to say which line is best here. I'm going to lean towards definitely attacking, that's for sure. So let's actually just get that out of the way right now. Let's go to battle phase and attack, then go to main phase 2 and decide. Yeah, so now I'm going to go towards Sangan. There could be Knock. Let's say there's like Knock plus 1800 monster. 1800 monster would run over Spy. Then Zombiris swings over, and then we get to set Faith. And we hope there's no Blade Knight. I'm going Sangan. He goes Faith. So there was an 1800 monster. And is there Knock as well? There's not. Okay. I don't think I care that much about Dust Shoot here, so I'm not going to do anything crazy like summoning Breaker before flipping Faith, because that just gets destroyed by Torrential. So I'm just going to flip Faith, take Pot here in main phase 1. he goes for the attack first. I'm not really sure the benefits of doing this. I mean, I guess you make Krebs have to decide without the knowledge of what our set monster is. But I think there's just ways that our play can change after we use pot. Like, say we go flip faith, take pot, activate, or I don't know, maybe he goes dust shoot. He probably wouldn't dust shoot right away. Say you go pot, draw some stuff, then he dust shoots, and now we have one card in the back row left. If he doesn't select breaker for some reason, because like, I don't know, maybe we drew something better than breaker, you can like summon breaker, destroy the final cards, and Byra hits. In any case, this is what happens. Yeah, I feel like this spot is a bit more weird now, because now you're gonna have to flip faith anyway. There's no shot you leave it set. It's possible to leave it set. You could just set Sang in here. But then I think Krebs still goes after... what does he attack? He'll probably attack the new set, which is fine for us, because you go for Sook and then flip faith next turn. I just don't want to risk anything, because like there could be knock top deck. Yeah, I'm flipping. I don't care. He does not flip, which is fine. Okay, that's probably... Sook? With knock set, you definitely have to get Sook, right? Yeah. It's gotta be Sook. This takes pot. Sets a back row. Draw another Zambira. Use pot into Solemn. So he had Sakuretsu there. I can't remember when he set the... Oh, sorry, I hovered over it. So now I know it's Solemn. But it's probably Zambira. Zambira's got to be the play, I think. Just because it walls both. Yeah, I mean, just summon Zambira. He goes for the Sook. So he just wants to get value out of the... I mean, it's going to be Sook target Kaiku. It's probably just getting solemned, I guess. Just have to pass turn. Any merits to just pitching the Thunder Dragon? If he draws Dust Shoot, we do have Breaker and Zambira, so Dust Shoot can't possibly stop us, so just keep Thunder Dragon. But yeah, I think I definitely lead towards Zambira on that turn instead of Sook. That's a bad draw. It's getting tough now. I'm summoning Zambira. He's just gonna swing and just lose to Sakuretsu, it looks like. Yeah. Probably have to, yeah. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Call. That's not enough for game. Breaker would have done pretty nice last turn, given this being call. Draw spy. Okay, you have to set spy pass. It's back row. Sasuke's gonna kill one spy. Draw ring. Ring is good because now we can't lose the game. So this is just gotta be... Actually... Oh... Yeah, you actually can't win the game. You have to tie. Because... You can't just end. Breaker has to get rid of Sasuke. But then we can't stop either of these guys from killing Breaker. So this is just going to end in a tie, guaranteed. Yep. So, where was the mistake? I feel like this probably should have been a win. I think it was probably that turn where you just left Faith set. I would have flipped it in main phase 1 and potentially summoned Breaker. Given what Krebs actually had in that spot, he had like Solemn Saku. He might have solemned the Faith, and then we like summon Breaker to destroy the Saku, and then swing with Zambara and the other guy, which would have been good. On to game 3. And we lose rock, paper, scissors again. Krebs opens pot, blade, set 5. Tough, but our hand is pretty good for handling that. Just gonna start with upstart. Yeah, I don't like that. Krebs is just always flipping dust shoot there. There's no shot he holds. Yeah. It's fine, but whatever. So what's... Okay. So summon Sook is an option, of course, except that's running into Saku or Ring. Pretty much always. The other thing is Sangan. The Sangan effect is very important in this game state because we have Regeki Break. So... Yeah, this one's not easy. I don't want to use Sook. Though using Sook is not crazy. You could, like, Sook hit into Saku and then, like, widespread the blade. But I feel like I would rather just get Sangan going first. I mean, what's the chance of knocking 9 cards? Something like 40%. Yeah, it's probably just going to be set Sangan and Regeki Break and widespread. Summons Breaker. Have to use Ring on that. Krebs does just swing. Let me think about this for a second. I mean, obviously using widespread into hand being BLS is just game over. So I think you just have to allow this and go grab Serpent. He grabs Spy. Oh. I understand why he grabs Spy, just because he like wants to set it. But the problem here is Krebs can easily have a Rhoda in the back row, which just grabs Exiled and destroys this. I really want to get the Serpent online, because once you have Serpent, now all your sets are possible Serpent, and we already have Regeki Break, so yeah, I would grab Serpent 100%. Draw Sakuratsu. Now what? I mean, once you grab Spy in the spot, you're kind of just committed to setting Spy. Trying to think if you should set Sakuratsu or not. I think it doesn't matter that much. There's like duo top decks that would be pretty devastating, I guess. Yeah. So Krebs just passes. We draw a really good card pot. So I would flip Spy here. Grab the other one in defense. Use the pot, which gets solemned. Ooh. I'm very tempted to use Solemn back. Let me think here. Say we don't Solemn, what is our play exactly? I guess you like soak your own Spy and then just wait till next turn to attack. Ugh, it's so tempting to just use a Solemn though, because like stuff like Thunder Dragon is really good. Can potentially even OTK maybe, given the right amount of top decks. Maybe not. Yeah, this one's tough, but I get greedy in those spots and just like to Solemn. But I get that he feels this position is very strong. The fact that he also Solemns this probably tells me that he's got more than one Solemn. Yeah, I expect him to just go soak on his own Spy here. Sets a monster, passes, we draw MST. Flip. Yep. Doing this, so even if you get Mirror Forced, it doesn't really matter. And I watched this part live, actually, so I know he's not going to attack this set monster. And looking back on this, I mean, obviously this is just a completely probably not a great play from Krebs to set Tribe here. Gote could have set MST before battle phase to allow himself to swing into this and not risk Dawn. just in case it was something crazy like this, or Kaiku. I mean, warrior players will do anything crazy, like. But yeah, I mean, once you are in that spot with the MST in hand, I really don't want to like randomly use MST and then attack. So this tribe flips, and I imagine Gote is just hating life. Let's see. Let's say that we allow this. We don't have Mirror Force, TT, and Grave. Good chance Krebs just swings. But, I mean, there's also a shot that he just summons it anyway. We do have double battle trap for that. If he just swings with Tribe, do we allow it? I think we would just allow it and try to run over with Suk, which will probably be destroyed by battle trap. Yeah, I mean, using Solemn here is tough. You do have MST for premature call. Yeah, you could go either way. Just trying to keep the 3 spies on board is certainly fine. There's call after MST. And this is just going to go heavy BLS BK. Was there a play here? Was there a play here that lets you live? There is one. You could set Tsukiyomi. Could set Tsukiyomi, have BLS banish it. Blade swings for 2,000. And then you hope to get Snatch exactly. Whereas if you go this, there's just no world where Krebs doesn't swing with BLS. So I think you're losing 100% in that situation. If you go Suk BLS, Solemn it. That actually could be something. You could go Suk BLS, set Solemn, and then Krebs would potentially be scared to flip BLS into a TT. It's still unlikely because Solly is like known for not playing TT. But the one play that almost definitely lets you see your next draw is setting Suk. And there is Snatch Steal in the deck. So, you know, graceful into discarding a light with the chaos and then having Solemn backing that. So there's a couple possibilities. Whereas I think this one you just lose 100%. Alright, so that's the end of the match. Definitely some plays where I think Gote could have changed and potentially changed the outcome, especially in the game 2. I feel like game 2 was probably should have been a win. This game 3 was tough. There was like you could Solemn back, Solemn Krebs is Solemn. Where's back rows? Yeah, he just had a bunch of Sakus. Suk would have been destroyed. Alright, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.